Okay, so another video. In this video, we're just going to go kicks for all grades. So a variety of different kicks for different levels on the body, but mainly we're just going to work on the technique of the kicks. So we're going to start with the first one, like a low section kick, a low section stomping kick or a side kick. All of these kicks that we do, obviously you can work off either leg, front or back. I tend to use the front for speed and the back more for power, but each of their own. So with the first kick, a stomping kick, and an oblique kick. There's 4 parts of the kick: the chamber, the kick, the chamber, and then planting it back down. So we're going to come up for the chamber, so knees turned out, foot turned out. So this is part 1, the chamber. 2, you'll be kicking out, 3 back up, and 4 back to guard. So 1, 2, 3, and back to guard. 1, 2, 3, and back to guard. Notice my foot's turned out. If your foot's turned out or in, you've got bigger surface area to hit the target, rather than coming straight through with like a front kick or a stomp kick onto the leg. So up and in. So the area of the leg you're going for is the quads really. If you're sparring, kick into the thigh rather than on the knees. If you're outside in the street, and the kneecaps obviously is where it's at. So you're going to come up, push, up and back to guard. So just extending the hips. You can open up the hips of the kick for more range distance, pushing away, or just up and down if you're in close range. So hands up, keeping that balance, placing it back down to where you were when you started. As I said, you can use both legs, so I can just come up and in here. It's exactly the same idea. Chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. Push it in. And then get the hips involved when you want a little bit more distance, a bit more snap and power. Good, so an oblique kick. Same here. Full range on the kick. Okay, then if I turn the toes the other way, it's generally known as a stomping kick. So I can aim for the same level on the kick. I can go low section onto the thigh for your sparring, or in the street into the kneecaps. So the difference with it is, rather than turning the toes to the outside, I turn the toes to the inside. But to set that up, I need my lead leg to turn. So my lead leg turns over, my back leg comes up, faces the same leg, faces the same way, so knee comes up and through. 2 is the kick, 3 back to where we were, and then 4 placing it back down. So rather than turning the foot to the outside, we turn it to the inside, stomping down on the leg. So turn, kick down, and then replacing it again. So up, kick, and back to guard. Turn, up, kick, back to guard. Turn the front foot, up, kick, back to guard. And again, same as when I was throwing the other one, then I can throw more with the hips and open up the hips on the kick for more power. So turning, driving the kick through. So coming up, driving the kick through, really turning the hips through. Twist the hips. Again, up, down on the leg. And again, down on the leg. Good, and as I said, you can use the lead leg for it, so I just turn my knee in, my back leg set it up, look, I did a little turn with the back leg, front knee come up, stomp it into the leg, and then back down to guard. 4 parts again, knee, kick, knee, back to guard. Chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. So into the leg, into the knee, driving it down. Nice and slow for the technique there for you. So turn the foot, bring your knee up, drive down, back to guard. Good, one more of the back. Okay, on to the next kick. So with this one, front kick, we can work all different levels. Low section, mid section or high section. Either leg, as I said before, but we'll just work on that technique. So the technique is exactly the same idea really as a stomping kick. 4 parts before you place the leg. So knee, front kick, knee, and back to guard. So chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. Whether you're going low section, mid section or high section, the higher you go, the quicker that chamber's got to be. So we can't really hold the knee unless you're super flexible, super strong in the leg to hold that chamber. So chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. Toes want to be up, kicking with the ball of the foot underneath. So striking in the same place really, knee, thigh, midsection or high section. Okay, so snapping the kick in. So really flexing at the knee, snapping through. As I said, we can use a front one, snap it in, it's the same idea. Chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. Chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. So that's a low section front kick, here and here. Then we've got a mid-section front kick, so the only difference really is you're bringing the knee higher to chamber. The knee would come up higher before you throw the kick. So knee kick, back to guard. Chamber kick, chamber, back down. 4 parts, same as if you were throwing a stomping kick. Exactly the same here, snapping it through to the body. up and in. Midsection, going for the bladder or solar plexus, just striking upwards. If I fire it this way, kicking up into the midsection. If it lands right, it's a great kick to wind somebody, not trying to move somebody, trying to wind them. Keep them in front of you just to fold them in half. Great setup kick. Okay, exactly the same if we're going high section. The only difference again is we just bring the knee up a little bit higher. So we'll come off the back leg, bring the knee up higher, kick to the face, knee up, back to guard. So up, kick, and back to guard. Same idea, front leg, and back to guard. Knee up, kick, back to guard. Back to guard. Okay. If you guys are doing your gradings and stuff, we don't want to go above the head. You can actually fail a grading if you're going too high. You're just working on your own body in the mirror, so your whatever height you are, that's the height of the front kick, so your head with a high section kick. Cool, so knee comes up higher, the higher the kick needs to go. But remember, 4 parts of that: the chamber, the kick, the chamber, and placing it back down. Good, let's move it on. So next kick, round kicks or turning kicks. Different names in different styles, but really it's the same idea. With the round kick, turn kick, we're going to do it more for kickboxing, so we're going to work on the chamber. If we are working like K1 or Thai boxing, really you'd fire it through the leg without much of a chamber, you'd be kicking through. But we're going to work more technique, more for kickboxing. So bend the knee, kick out, bend the knee and bring it back. So 4 parts again on this kick. So work off the back leg to start with, a low section. So with this one again, we can go low, middle or high. We'll have a go at all 3. So off the back leg, the chamber, so turn. With the chamber on this one, your foot needs to come up, your knee to the outside. So foot one way, knee the other way. Part 1. 2 is the kick, 3 back up, and 4 back to guard. So with a kick in K1 or kickboxing, we're going outside or inside of the thigh with a low leg or calf muscles. With your toe curled back, kicking with the lowest part of your shin. Lowest part of the shin, not the toes. Obviously there's tiny bones in there. With the leg, it's a bigger bone. So chamber, kick, chamber, back to guard. Just work on that technique rather than falling through on the kick. If you want more power, obviously you glide it through. We're just going to work on the technique. Just to get the angle of the kick right, you want to turn your lead leg to the way the kick's going. Rather than being face forward here and putting a lot of pressure through this knee, turn through. So move 1, turn and chamber up. 2 down, 3 and back to guard. Here, boom. Little step out, little turn with that leg. For more power, I can step through and then throw the leg kick. So here, turn, low leg kick. Exactly the same off the lead leg. I just set it up by stepping or turning the back leg to the angle that the kick's going. Knee, kick, back to guard. So I could be working an inside leg kick there or outside leg kick. I could be going for the back leg, the inside of the front leg, anywhere. Kick and down, back to guard. Turn your knee through. Here. Good. So work these techniques more for your grading. That's what your examiner's going to want to see, the better techniques. Here, so guard up high. Good, then the same idea as if we were doing a front kick, to bring the kick level up. With this one, you've just got to bring the chamber of the knee higher to throw that round kick midsection. So same setup, front foot turns, and then your back knee is going to come up a little bit higher, so you're going to bring it up. Was down here for the low kick, up higher for a midsection kick. So 1, 2, 3, and back to guard. Chamber, kick, chamber down, here. So my knee's just coming up high. If I do it that way, knee up, and back to guard. So, knee up, and back to guard. If you can't get the height on some of the kicks, if you just lean back, so you're counterbalancing yourself, it'll pull the kneecap up a little bit to help your leg come up a little bit higher. And back. Sometimes with the kicks, you'll fall off the kick because your balance or the weight of the leg is pushing yourself too far through. So sometimes you can just move your hands about. So if you want to counter the balance of the kick, you can push your hands the opposite way that the kick's going. It'll bring you back like this. See, my hands are going away. So my kick's going that way, but hands are going the opposite way. Countering the balance here. Boom. Helps with your balance rather than keeping a guard here. Everything wants to go that way or this way. You just bring them across. I'm still guarding my face. One hand's here, one hand's down the leg. Good, so that's midsection with your knee up higher with the lead leg. Exactly the same idea. Turn your foot to keep the balance. Knee up, kick, midsection. and then back to guard. So I can do the same thing with the hands, I can pull them across. So counter the balance again here, boom, and back to guard, here, and back to guard. Lower midsection, the only difference really was the height of the chamber on the leg would set up that sort of kick. So if we're going high section, obviously we just need to bring the knee up a little bit higher and then placing it back down where we were. So hands are up again, I can pull the hands across, I can lean back a little bit further to get more height if I'm not as flexible, or I can stand up and throw the round kick where I am. Try and show control for your grades and pull the leg back down and put it back where it should be. So from here, hands up, kick, and then back down to guard. Knee up first. So I can pull my hands across to force myself back and to counter the balance of the kick. All my weight wants to go that way with the round kick, but I need to show control in the grade to bring that kick back down. So I can pull my hands across, still keeping a guard here, just to bring the kick back down. So again, boom. So head back a little bit lower, kick up a little bit higher. Boom. Same, aiming for your head. So I've got a mirror in front of me, so I'm aiming for that head there. Not higher, not lower. So high section, mid section, low section. The only difference again was the height of the knee to set up the kick. First part, make sure you turn the foot out. Okay, so we'll move on to side kicks. We've sort of done this with the first one, with the stomping kick. It's exactly the same idea as a stomping kick. So a low section stomping kick is a low section side kick. So turning the foot out, knee comes up. So the difference here, you can see the difference in the chamber. My foot's down. With a round kick, my foot was up. Side kick chamber, round kick chamber. So you go side kick one here, 2 push it down, 3 back up, 4 down where we should be. So a low side kick or a low stomping kick, and then we'll bring it up to midsection. So remember, 1, turn the lead leg through, same as on a round kick, but the difference, my foot comes up, not behind here. So round kick chamber, side kick chamber, push it down, and then back to guard. So we'll go straight into midsection because we've already worked that one. So same idea, the higher the chamber, the better the side kick's going to be. I can't chamber there for a midsection side kick, I need to bring the knee right up. So up nice and high before I go out. So make sure with these kicks to open the foot up and you're pushing into the body. With a round kick, you're coming round to the side of the body or into the body, but it's a different angle. Round kick comes round, side kick's coming up and through, almost the same as a push kick. So up and through, and then back to guard. Up, through, back to guard. Good, so open your foot all the way up and push it right into the body. Up, push. Use your hips, flex the hips here, push. So I can do the same with that guard, I can pull it across, but put all your weight through the kick. I can counter the balance of that by differing my head a little bit further back, just so I'm not putting everything forwards and falling off the kick for my grade. Up, push in, back to guard. Keep that balance, notice I keep hopping. Let's avoid that. So turn, kick, push it in and back to guard. Snap it through, back to guard. Keeping a hand up, hand across, switch in as long as you've got a hand somewhere there in guard. Here, and back to guard. See, sometimes I do a little hop step that way, it's because my head's obviously leaning too far that way. I don't want to be leaning over when it's centre line. Turn. You're going to find a lot of weight's going to be going that way, so you're going to have to counter that with your head balance the opposite way. So turning the front leg, hands up, push it in, and then back down to where we were. Turn, push it in, and back to where we were. Without leaning across either way, if you start pushing your head one way, obviously you're going to fall that way on the kick. You can end up doing a little hop step to recover where you should be. So just turn the foot, hands up, kick it out, and back to guard. Snap it in, back to guard, and again. Back to guard. If I just do it facing this way, knee up, side, knee up, back to guard. Here, back to guard. Good. So as we have on the others, you can just do it off the lead leg. Your front leg turn, oh sorry, your back leg turns. For your balance, left knee comes up high. So notice the foot's down, not set up for a round kick. Round kick chamber, side kick chamber, and then push it into the body. Hands up, pushing them across to counter the balance. Back to guard, here, back to guard. Leaning back to stop all the weight falling over the front leg. Okay. Good, hands up, back to guard. Notice my foot's open, bigger surface area, straight into the body, underneath the elbows. dig it straight in, back to guard. Some examiners won't want you to move around this back leg before you throw the kick, so just practice it on the spot, just turning that back leg and straight up with the front knee. And then back down, midsection, no higher, no lower, just into your abs. And then back down to guard. Good, good, well done. So the same idea of a high section kick, all we do is bring the knee up, sit back a little bit more just to counter the balance and drive it up to your head height. Remember, no higher, no lower. So head height, high section side kick. So from here, right knee comes up, into the head and back to guard. From here, back to guard. Okay, so we're going to move on now to a different style of kick. No chamber setup with a kick. You're going to keep your leg as straight as you can with an axe kick. So you're going to come in and across the body with the setup of the kick. So imagine the head's in front of you. We can't come straight up to the nuts. We'll go round the body, up and down. So axe kicks generally used to kick a guard down or as a setup for something else, or to land on top of the head, shoulder, chest, depending on where they are. So axe kick. This is one of the only kicks you can go above the head in your grade without failing the grade, because you want maximum power on the way down. So the higher the kick goes up to set it up, the better on the way back down. So you're kicking with the heel, opening your foot up, keeping your leg as straight as you can, going across the body. So some people come outwards with an axe kick, but we're going to go in across the body to set it up, and then straight back down on top of the head. So it looks like this. So hands up, look, up, down with the kick. So round the body, up, land on the head, pulling the guard down, or as a setup for something else. Make sure with it that you're just opening the hips through here and pulling down. Trying to keep the hands high. Here, through the head. Good. So my little setup, maybe just with that, I'll just open up my front leg just to allow the kick to go through. You can do it with your left leg or your lead leg, sorry, facing forwards, but sometimes just turn it to the outside, pulls your kick that way to set it up. Good. Just have a play around with the front leg. Sometimes keep it facing forwards. So like here, I've just got it facing forwards, up and down, or just that little turn there, just to open your hips up a little bit more that way. Same idea with this one. We can do it with the front leg again. Great setup if you use the front leg, but much harder to do. So it comes across the body for the setup, here, and then down. Above the head for more power on the way down. Remember, in your grading, they're not going to want you to step to set up the kick unless you're doing a step up kick. We're just doing these on the spot. So it just comes up, down, much harder. Hands up, elbows in, back to guard. And again. And again. Good, so axe kick, completely different. No chamber with the kick. So next kick that we're going to do is a push kick. So a push kick is used to create space. There's no point me pushing someone away to set up something else unless I'm trying to run them down. So if I've worked on the inside and they've got a little bit close, push kick's great just to create a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing space, a little bit of a gap between you and your opponent. So it's the same idea as a front kick, apart from you're not snapping the kick up, you're driving it forwards. So same thing, chamber, push away, chamber, back to guard, up, in and back to guard. Opening the foot up, kicking with the underneath of your foot, the heel of the foot or the flat of the foot, up and in. So if I do it this way, you can see that my hips are trying to push forwards. With a front kick, I'm staying square on here, just snapping it through and back to guard. Snapping it with a push kick, I come up and push everything forwards. Up, push. Here, up, push. No setup with the front leg, I'm just able to stand here and just straight push away. If they've got too close, up and in. The closer you get your knee to yourself, the closer they can be before you throw the push kick. So rather than bringing your knee up in front of you too far away, they're going to have to be quite a long way away before you've thrown the push kick. Get that knee in, push away. Same as all the others, we can do it off the lead leg. Up and push through. Push through. This way. Back legs planted, up and push through. Back to guard. Push through. Back to guard. Push away. Back to guard. So I can do it low on the leg, midsection, or I can get it up through the face, pushing still. Push low, push midsection, push high section. Well done, let's move it on. So next kick that we're going to work on is a crescent kick. So exactly the same as when we're doing axe kicks before, there's no real chamber, no real setup for the kick, just keeping your leg as straight as you can. With an axe kick we're coming down, with a crescent kick we're coming through. So we're going to work on the first one, an outside crescent kick as a high section kick, so it's a great kick to pull someone's guard out of the way. So axe kick will pull it down, crescent kick will pull it out of the way, or we can crescent kick through the face, or we can do it as a disguise for something else. So with an outside crescent kick, you're using the outside of your foot. Same setup, you come across the body, big circle. The further you go that way now with the kick, the more momentum you've got through the face. With an axe kick, the more height you add on the kick, the better momentum you'd have on the way down. With this one, the further you go across the body, the better it's going to be on the way back through. So big circle here, crescent kick. It doesn't need to go higher than the head, it wants to be head height or guard height, depending on what you're going for. So when you're grading, it's normally a high section kick to the head. So here, push through, outside of the foot. Go so you can just see I just turn the hips to start with, just to open it up to allow my leg to go that way, and then place it back down. Same in this, the examiner's not going to want to see your lead leg moving around. Here, back to guard. Toes up, kicking with the ankle. Toes up, kick with the ankle. You can do it off the lead leg, so it just comes across the body. Remember, I can't come up through, it needs to come up and out. The further it goes that way, the better it's going to be that way for power. Here, back to guard. And back to guard. Back to guard. Remember, toes up, heels down, kicking with the ankle, hands up, elbows tucked, through the face. The further it goes that way, the more it's got momentum to go that way. Kicking with that outside of the ankle. So outside crescent kick with the lead leg. Here, back to guard. And one more, back to guard. Okay, so keeping with the same idea, that's the outside crescent kick. Now we're going to do an inside crescent kick. The only difference is we're using the inside of the leg. So outside crescent kick was the outside of the foot. Now we're placing the inside of the foot in the same area. So we're trying to pull the guard down or kick to the face. Exactly the same idea. So here, up and in, back to guard. So with this, you'll see that your momentum wants to carry you across. So if you want to land here and then bring it back out, that'll be fine for your examiner, or go all the way through and place it back down. So up, and then back to guard, or out, and then straight back to guard. It's much easier to place it here. So through the head, and back to guard, here. Through the head, and back to guard. Through the head, and back to guard. You can do it off the lead leg, so outside and through it's much harder to do though. From here, out and back down, so you see I place my foot and then bring it back through. Out, and then back to guard here. Out, and then back to guard. So inside crescent kick. Ankle to the side of the head, pulling the guard down. Here, out, and back to guard. Up, and back to guard. Well done, let's move it on. Right, so the next kick that we're going to do is a hook kick. So we can go low section with it, mid section with it, or high section with it. You can kick with the heel and point the heel, or point the toes for more range and length on the kick. So if you're going low section, you're just digging it in, trying to kick inside or outside of the leg here. Hook kick, so basically it's like an opposite to the round kick. Come through and hook, back to guard. We're going to work it mid section, so we're going to go into the ribs, or up to the head. So to start with, you've got to push your kick past the body and then hook it in. So if I show one first, hook, and back to guard, hook. So you see that the leg is hooking all the way through. So you can extend the kick like a side kick and then hook it in. As I said, you can dig the heel out this way and hook for more power, or I can point the toes for more range on the kick. Obviously you hurt more with the heel. So we go mid section with it, push your kick out past the body and then hook it back into your bum basically. Here, back to guard. Here, back to guard. So the setup of the kick, I'm just turning my lead leg all the way through, pretty much 180 degrees to keep that balance for the hook kick. So hopefully you can see it on there. Look, hook, it's facing the wrong way, back behind me, look. Here, back to guard. Whip it in, back to guard. We do it off the lead leg, so kicking in, through to the body, here, and back to guard, whip it through, and back down, through, and back down. So I'm just hooking the opposite way to a round kick. Bam, go past the body, hook through, past the body, hook through. So my back leg's just turning all the way out like, before I throw the kick, here. Whip it back down to guard, here. Good, so if I'm going higher with the kick, exactly the same pretty much as the front kick, the round kick, the side kick, I need to bring the knee up before I throw the kick. So I'll go to the back leg again, kicking with the heel or toes, knee up high, dipping back, hook through to the head, and placing it back down to where it should be, or where we started. So from here, hook to the head, and back to guard. Hook to the head, back to guard. Left hand or right hand, whichever way you're kicking, can come across the head to counter the balance. A lot of momentum with the weight of the kick is going to start pulling you about, so you might have to counter that with your hand movement, trying to keep a guard still there. Here. Boom. So just your head. Your head. So notice my head's dropping to get more height on the kick. Back to guard. And again. Boom. One more time. Place it back down. So just as the others, we can do that with the lead leg as well. We just need to sit back more and counter the balance a little bit more. So you're leaning on that back leg to push your front leg up. So from here, boom, and back down. So much higher. Here, up, back down. Guard up, back down. Hook right through the head, keep your foot horizontal, kick your leg horizontal. Down again. So next kick, going up through the belts to get a little bit harder now, we're going to go for a sliding side kick. So tricks in the name, we want to slide along the floor rather than stepping up into a side kick or jumping side kick. So you're going to chamber exactly the same. You can use the front leg or the back leg. It works much better off the front leg. A sliding side kick to move your way in, to work yourself in. So that's what we'll fire it off. We'll go off the back leg as well, but to start with, we'll just go off the lead leg. So the chamber is the same as a normal side kick, comes up to the side here. The difference is, as I kick, I slide along the floor. So I don't come off the floor. That would be a jumping side kick or a step up side kick. You're going to slide. So up and slide before I throw the kick. So as I slide, I throw the kick. Chamber, kick and slide at the same time. Chamber and land forwards, and then reset yourself back. So from here, knee comes up, guard still up, slide kick, and then back to guard, and then drag step your way back to where you should be. So up, slide kick, down, back to guard. So sliding front leg side kick. Little step back. Up, in, back to guard. Up, in, back to guard. And again. Up, in, back to guard. So if I want to do it off the back legs, the same idea. Chamber all the way through, slide forwards, throw the kick, step down, and then back to where we should be. Make sure you're sliding through the floor though, not jumping. So from here, up, slide, back to guard. Here, up, slide, back to guard. Up, slide, back to guard. Midsection kick into the body. Up, slide to the body, back to guard. Here, up, slide, and back to guard. Good. Right, so we're going to do one more kick, but on this kick we're going to spin. So all the others we've been face on, turning the body, but this one we're going to turn around, throw the spinning back kick forwards, and then land back down. There's so many ways to do a different spinning back kick. Some people call it a turning back kick, but what we're going to do is a spinning back kick. Remember with this, if we don't want to turn and then throw a side kick, or turn and throw a push kick, everybody thinks that because we're turning and it's behind, that it's a back kick, but that's not it. With a back kick, your toes have got to be down and your heel's got to be up, and you'll be digging in with the heel. We don't want to do a turning side kick. So there's loads of different ways of setting it up. Some examiners won't mind you gliding your front foot across, just to set up a spinning back kick a little bit easier from here, kicking out and coming back the same way. Another thing with it is we can throw the kick and spin back out the same way for a lot more control, or we can throw the spinning back kick and then go all the way through like a 360 and land back in your orthodox or southpaw stance, whichever stance you started in. So it comes off the back leg. So if we show the front leg to set it up first, we'll break it down like that. There we work. So gliding it across, spinning for two, kick, and placing it back down. Glide across, spin, kick, and back to guard. Notice on those three, I didn't turn and look over my shoulder, just to show more technique with the heel up, toes down. So that's the best way to practice it. Leg across, spin, look the opposite way, place it down and glide it back. That will keep everything, your hips and everything in line, so that you can go heels up, toes down. As soon as you start turning your head you'll see it will want to creep the foot up and you'll end up doing sort of like a turning side kick. But if we give that a go, let's say turn, leg across, turn the body. I'm going to look and spot where I want to be kicking. Remember, heels up, toes down from here. Back to guard. You'll have seen even on that one, my foot would have been a little bit more creeped out, but as long as you're digging with the heel. So again, look, 1 across, 2, turning, turn the head, knee up, heel up, toes down, here, slide, and back to guard. So that's one way of doing it, but you're really showing it. If you were sparring, you'd never get away with it really, unless you've set it up by disguising it maybe with a punch, like a hook kick here, bang, 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 and then spinning back kick. So we can throw the exact same kick from the spot. So we're just going to come up on both heels, look, and turn the body. We can see it sort of twist the legs up here. We're going to go back kick, place it back down, back to guard. So just try both, either gliding your way across or spinning on the spot here. Back leg comes up, exactly the same idea. I can look, kick with the heel, toes down, and placing it back to where I should. Once I've thrown the kick, I need to bring it back and push it across. I can't just bring it all the way back through, I'll end up in the wrong way. So from here, my feet like this, knee up, kick, place it across, and then spin back to guard here. Midsection with the head in the middle, sorry. So from here, looking away, so my shoulders and everything go that way. Heels up, toes down, and then replace. Then once you're getting it, bang, turn the head, spot the target, kick out, and bring it back across. Guard up, spin, back leg, kick, and back to guard. I find that the faster I turn my head on the way back round, the more it forces the hips back through. So turn, so I'm going to kick and pull back as one move here, bang, force the head back round, force the hips back round to reset my feet where they should be. Spin, kick, back. So that was looking away to get more technique. Now we'll turn and look. From here, look, here, kick, and back to guard. So spinning, back kick, and back to guard. So with this kick, we can go midsection or high section. If you're super accurate, you can go low section down to the leg. So what I was saying about the foot creeping out is if you step across, say, and turn too far, watch, my foot will end up into a side kick. So from here, like side kick. We don't want that, we want toes down, heels up. So if we're gliding across here, step, stop, back kick, replace, back to guard. Move across, spin, back kick.